Hello, and welcome to what is now known as late stage comedy, also known as An Inconvenient Truth, formerly known as Some Timeline. I'm excited about our little rebranding just because I think it just makes sense. It's like, this is what it is. It's late stage comedy. I'm into my late stages of my reproductive years. It's a late stage capitalism, obviously. It's late stage comedy. Things have gotten weird, and this is what we're here to talk about. I have Chris Estrada on this first episode of it known as this name, but like I think 18th or 19th episode of our podcast that me and our producer Seth Hover have done. And Chris Estrada is so funny and so genuine. He's one of these people that when you get so bummed out about like the state of everything, or like, you're seeing a Tony Hinchcliffe or whatever, but then you go, there's Chris Estrada. You focus on the positives, and he's one of them. So if you want to skip my intro and go straight to his interview, like go ahead and fast forward. That's not going to make me sad or mad at all. Because to be honest, I'm a bummer. But I know that some of y'all are here for that. Like you want to be a little bummed out. That's kind of like what you're here for. So buckle up for that. I have a couple of updates today. One is I have a new vacuum arriving any minute. And the second is, I guess, we're bombing Iran. I'm just in my like America's fully evil era, and it's really sad because it's like, I've always like kind of been on that tip of like understanding the faults of our nation and colonialism and all these things, but it's just gotten to the point where it's just like, with everything, Palestine, Epstein, climate crisis, Cuba, it's just like, dude, this country is evil, man. Like, and it just goes all the way back, and it's just like, we gotta not have it. It's like at the point where I'm like, man, I don't even get to keep Lincoln anymore. I grew up like loving Lincoln, and I think that's because of Disneyland. Disneyland has that little animatronic, and it's like, obviously Lincoln's likable. He's ugly. He's making fun of how he's ugly. He frees the slaves. But the dude was genociding, and I don't know, just the whole America project. We gotta cut it out. And obviously I love America in terms of, I love the people. I love I love the figure skater Alyssa Liu. I love a lot of the culture and music that's sprung up here in spite of all of the oppression and everything. And I love the land. I love hill. I love ocean. I love tree. I love I love land. But it's just America's bad for everything. It's not good. And sometimes I've been so indoctrinated. Sometimes I like still hear the national anthem and I'll like start crying. But I'm like, I think that's just because I just like singing. I want to say, I don't think it's about the ramparts for me. I mean, you hit those notes, I'm gonna cry. I honestly don't even know what a rampart is. I've looked it up. It's like a wall. I don't know. So, even if you love America, it's time to put her down, she's suffering, like she's rabid. Let her go. Yes, there's a vaccine for rabies, but she refused to take it. Just put her out of her misery. She's a danger to the public. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure that this podcast is flagged immediately by, what's his name? Kash Patel. Great. I guess let's get to my other update, which is my new vacuum that's coming in a minute. I'm expecting a knock at the door. It's going to be a Dyson. And I'm really excited because I had a meltdown this week. So my partner bought me a Dyson. And I can't wait to vacuum my couch. I really need to vacuum. I don't have like a handheld thing. So my couch has just been, I've just had to like pick up crumbs from my couch for so long. And now I'm just going to vacuum them out. It's a new era for me. I like my partner because he bought me a vacuum. And also because there was this moment last night where we were watching TV and people were making noise outside. And he was just like kind of like glaring out the window at the ruckus while like kind of petting my leg. And it felt like this, this kind of like, I don't know. It was just like a nice moment of watching him be full of hatred for people outside while petting. It was kind of like, Dr. Evil, like petting his cat or something like that. I really liked it. Wait, I had another note on America's evilness, which is the military, right? This is something I'm kind of working on, I guess. The military is so evil, and I've never understood why like there's all that like psycho like strictness of like like waking up at 5 and like, soldier, did I say your collar is do 50 push-ups because your shoe is got a scuff or whatever. And I've always thought like, God, that's so psycho and unnecessary. But now that I see ICE agents running around, I'm just like, I kind of get it, because I'm like, yeah, if you're gonna kill people, you should at least like know how to make a bed really well. So anyway, that's just a little thing I'm working on. It's been really hot here, but it's been really cold, and then it's been hot and it's been cold. And yesterday was 90 degrees in LA, and it is February, by the way. This is the last day of February. And the week before was like in highs in the 40s, just like nuts. And I think it's been making me sick. So me and my coworker at the diner I work at wrote some haikus yesterday about climate change. I thought I'd share them with you. Shakes and the Beach Boys, bikinis in wintertime, death and destruction. This one I sound kind of like a pirate. Okay, there be no more coral. Can I have a plastic straw? No, not really. My dad knew at 5, looking at a parking lot. Earth can't sustain that. Earth can't sustain this. So me reading my haikus is in honor of me doing the podcast for Mike Kaplan, where I talked about how I sometimes write poetry, but it's really bad. And he was like, you should share it. Share all of it. So there it is, you guys. I'm doing it. I hope you guys share something today. I'm going to share my coworker's haikus without her permission because I thought they were really good. She also has really good music, which maybe I'll link at some point. Maybe I'll have her on. Maybe I'll have her music on. Okay. Here's hers. It's 90 degrees and I feel like I can't breathe. Who's to blame for this? These are more introspective than mine. The fault on us all, but with no one to hear it. Avoid our demise. And the third one, we were doing 3 each. Is my hope useful or is it my stupidity? Am I the problem? I wish I didn't read it like that. Okay, I'm going to get to Chris's interview, but I hope that you guys make some art, whatever you're feeling. Just make something. Stay alive, you guys. Stay in this one day at a time, one thing at a time. I know these are like fully evil times, but just lean into the community, make some art. We'll figure something out. So Chris Estrada, in this interview, for some reason, I just started like disturbing him. Like, I don't know. I just started talking so much shit. And by that, I mean, I was talking about shit. Like I couldn't stop talking about poop near the end. And it was grossing him out. And I don't know why I was doing that. I don't understand that impulse of mine. But then last night I watched Sarah Sherman's new special on HPV on HBO, and I really understood it. Like it felt like oh, by the way, she has John Waters into her special. It was so fun. So whatever I was doing, Sarah Sherman fully embodies. I think I watched the first half hour. It's completely about poop. I loved it. I'm not someone that thinks poo and pee and like farts and vomit are particularly funny. But sometimes we need to talk about it. And also Steph Tolev opens her special by talking about poop. So check those out, you guys. I hope that you're all really regular. I hope you enjoy my talk with Chris Estrada. I want to say one really nice thing about him before we start, which is just like he really respects women, I'll say. I want to say this because one time I was in a green room years and years ago full of guys, and they were all broing out and getting all excited around each other and not being mean to me, but like low-key kind of ignoring me. And he just like fully looked me in the eyes and was like, "Hey, Jessica, how are you? How's your family?" And is just like so calm and doesn't get all hyped up and broed out. And I think he's the real deal. He's hilarious. His show on Hulu is obviously really funny. It's called This Fool. If you haven't watched it, it's just like so cute and special. All right, so thanks for listening, you guys. This is Late Stage Comedy. Here's my talk with Chris Estrada. Yeah, I have one aunt that listens all the time.
Does she really?
She texts me and she's like, how's your bipolar?
Oh, that's endearing.
It is. And I'm like, I'm actually autistic now.
Yeah.
And
are you autistic?
That's what my new therapist thinks. I kind of
but I feel like you should get diagnosed if you.
No, yeah, for sure, but I'm scared. I'm like scared to get diagnosed.
But wouldn't it make
I don't want to be on
clearer?
The list. Like politically.
Oh.
Because RFK Jr. was like, I'm making a list.
I think he has autism.
True.
Like the way he's fixated on things, I go, that's the way he's fixated on all these like health issues, I go, you're autistic.
That's so true.
Yeah. I was telling someone this the other day where I go, like sometimes you'll hear hacky takes where everyone like, and I'm probably fucking complicit and guilty of having these hacky takes, but people will go, everybody's gay now, or everybody is autistic now. Mm-hmm. You'll hear people say those kind of things like on the more like when people are on maybe being more conservative or whatever. But what's funny is I actually think that it's good that so many people that the spectrum of autism is bigger now.
Yeah.
I think it's good because I hold less grudges now.
Yeah, me too.
Do you know what I mean? Like
I'm a lot easier on myself since my therapist said they think I'm autistic.
I'll tell you this. There's people that I used to go, I can't stand that fucking person. Yeah. And then I go, oh, I think they were autistic.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the things that...
Or Asperger.
The kind of like symptoms that I have, I don't know if they're even called symptoms, but characteristics is like noises. I have a lot of noise problems, mouth noises. Like it makes me feel like I'm dying.
Oh my God, I think I'm autistic now.
Yeah, and then I have a big problem with loud noises, and you actually were someone who made me a lot more sensitive to people who enjoy fireworks.
Oh, yeah, I used to joke around. And
you used to joke, and then you made a short about a guy
with fireworks
that needs to go find fireworks. Well, and it made it endearing to me.
It was based off of the fact that I used to joke that like behind the Latino man who's lighting fireworks all night, there's actually there's a man who's not dealing with real issues.
For real.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so that I think that's what it was. But so you think you might? Are you scared to get the diagnosis? Are you going to do it?
It's also like I'm just really lazy, and I have a really hard time like getting the referral and call. I get referrals through my primary care doctor. And then I was like, oh, like I need a referral for a psychiatrist, and she's like Russian. She was like, no, it's okay. Like, I was like, okay. She like doesn't believe in that.
Well, it's funny because autism is actually a spectrum. So it's not like it almost is like there's so many various degrees and shades of autism, but it's like there's nonverbal autism. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you've met kids like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like non or people in your life, and then there's like autism where you just go, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense. Like or like highly functional autism.
Yeah.
You know?
So I have a joke right now, and I was doing it last night.
Yeah.
About how comfortable I felt in Japan and in
Yeah.
Tokyo, about, oh, everything's so clean, everyone's so quiet, no one wears like any perfume,
Yeah.
no one's like chewing like, and there's a lot of trains, and my joke is basically like, this is like a person on the spectrum, like I don't actually think I am autistic.
Yeah.
When I'm in Japan,
I actually they're gonna diagnose you Japanese.
I think so.
Yeah.
And my partner's Japanese, so there you
Yeah.
go.
There you go.
I needed like a man who's just like doesn't
Yeah.
like chew loud, or like,
Yeah.
he takes his shoes off, and so okay, I told these jokes last night. I went to Temecula.
Okay.
And I got a really, really bad response from this one guy, because I basically was saying like, oh, these are the ways it's better than America.
People are.
And
That doesn't surprise me in Temecula. For your fans who don't know where Temecula is, it's in like kind of the Inland Empire, the southern like going towards San Diego,
Yeah.
and it's got it's kind of conservative. And
yeah, well, I've performed there quite a few times,
Oh, really?
and usually I have a good time.
yeah,
And most of my jokes that I'm not out here like really talking about Donald Trump, or what
Yeah.
I mean, like. I feel like I'm pretty light fare, in a way, but this guy was so angry with me last night, and I'm trying out these new jokes about
what a sensitive guy.
about like white people, and how we don't like really know, like people that are excited about being white don't actually know like what that even means.
Yeah.
And he just was so angry, but I was like, oh, is this not funny? I thought it was funny.
Well, I'm sure it was. Because you're a funny comedian, but like, there's just people who I fucking bombed my dick off last night, and like,
Fuck them, dude.
but it happens, I feel like I'm sure what you said is funny, and I just think there's just people like that, especially a guy in Temecula who's like getting offended. Someone who's getting offended at jokes about America not being the best
Yeah.
is not funny. Or
Yeah.
doesn't have a sense of humor.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's very selective what they want to hear.
And then he said nothing political. And I was like, I was talking about like toilets in Japan. Like,
Yeah, of course.
like you got to know we don't have the best toilets.
No, of course. You want water shot up your ass.
You want multiple settings.
Yeah.
You want different temperatures.
Yeah.
You sit on a toilet and the seat's all warm.
Maybe he's part of like a toilet committee that like, is
Yeah.
like giving money to the government.
He sells American toilets.
He sells American toilets. I think he saw you and he said, she's coming after big toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said, coming after big toilet, I have to take a stance and let her know my industry will not be mocked.
Yeah. And it's like it's kind of like when there was a lot of anti-Japanese sentiment because the Japanese auto industry
Mm-hmm.
was competing with it, basically like took out Detroit or something.
Yeah, took out Detroit. Yeah, eventually won.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nobody tells. Everybody's. Well, I was like thinking of buying a new car, and everybody says buy a Toyota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think most cars now are fine.
Yeah.
I drive a Ford Fiesta. And I feel like if he knew that,
he'd go, oh, she's an imperialist, just like me. Yeah.
supporting American cars.
Yeah.
Wish it wasn't called Fiesta.
Fiesta, yeah.
Don't know what that means.
Real Manifest Destiny vibes right there. But he would have said, oh, she's an imperialist, just like me.
Exactly.
And he drove a Ford Fiesta too.
Yeah, Ford was literally a Nazi. You're welcome.
Well, yes, he was. He was sympathetic, right?
No, he was a full-blown Nazi.
Really?
Yeah.
Henry Ford.
Yeah, I wanted to like make, how everyone had those stickers that said like, oh, I bought this car before I knew Elon was weird or whatever.
Yeah.
I want to be like, I bought this car before I knew that Ford wrote something that was pro-Nazi. He's a white supremacist.
Imagine the guys who have stickers that I bought this Ford because he's a Nazi.
Yeah.
I bought this Ford Fiesta because he's a Nazi.
I call it a Ford party.
Yeah. Now, so you're saying he was like a pretty full-on Nazi.
Yeah.
Yeah. As we're
Pretty
like,
well known, Ford was a Nazi. Dude, so many people were Nazis.
well, Walt Disney, was he like a sympathizer, right? Or like he kind of.
I'll actually go ahead and defend Walt Disney here.
Yeah.
And say that he was not.
He was not a Nazi.
That's a rumor.
That's a rumor. Okay.
That he never said or did anything anti-Semitic. Like there was no
that's just a rumor that
he
started.
worked closely, like a ton of his staff was Jewish. They're all like, yeah, no way.
No way.
I
think it probably coincides with like, I think people are just trying to correlate. Like it's almost like a schizophrenic mind, which is like, oh, a mouse is indicative of like, you know what I mean?
Sure.
When they were painting like Jews as rats and whatnot. Like,
well, he was like competitive with other studios.
Mm-hmm.
And I think other studios that were Jewish run were like, he thinks whatever, you know what I mean? Like I think there was a little drama.
Have you gone to Tam O'Shanter's?
I have not. I've been meaning to. Yeah.
He used to hang out there.
I know.
There's a table where him and all the Imagineers. I think it's now LA's oldest restaurant. It's over 100 years old. That's for sure.
I always am meaning to go, and I get all these ads on my Instagram that are like, get Walt's table. But I will say, Walt, he wasn't like a great guy. He was really anti-union. He was racist in the way that like guys were racist back then.
Yeah,
but like
right.
He was like, I'm progressive. I love everyone.
Yeah.
But I'm the white man in charge. You know?
One of those.
And like, so
like a superiority complex.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And then they made Song of the South, and he like thought like, I think they had like civil rights, like, or like historians, like black historians. They hired them, and they were like, whatever you do, like don't portray him as like a happy-go-lucky slave.
Yeah.
And they like totally like ignored that.
Yeah,
and, like,
they ignored that.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna say like the dude was great, but I really don't think he was anti-Semitic or a Nazi.
Have you ever seen those? I think you're probably right. Have you ever seen those? There's like a clip on Instagram that's kind of popular, and it's showing the differences between how like Africans were portrayed in animation. One is like American, and it looks like probably like an early Walt Disney cartoon or like an early like Warner Brothers cartoon where it's like, it's clearly like menstrual, and like they're shown in the jungle. And
I thought you said menstrual.
Menstrual. Yeah.
I'm like, they're all bleeding.
Yeah.
They're eating chocolate.
But and then the other one is it's a side by side depiction, and the other one's a Soviet era animated cartoon where it's like they're showing like an African tribe, but it's very dignified. Right. Have you ever seen that one?
I have not.
It's really
I've seen ours that are undignified.
Yeah. Those, yeah.
It's brutal.
It's pretty brutal. Although I will say, what's the one that makes me laugh that people really love? Mexicans, for some reason, they really love Speedy Gonzalez.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it. I could carry either way. But there was a clip where it came up on my Instagram. It was an old animated clip of him going, I wish I had some marijuana.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
It's funny because me and Seth were both like Norwegian, and we have like Norwegian family.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how like my family like loves like really stereotypical, like degrading things about Norwegians.
Yeah.
And that's just like what makes them feel like they kind of belong.
Yeah.
And my partner like says that what's his name that used to do the samurai on SNL?
Yes, John Belushi.
That his family would all gather around and be like, oh, they're doing the samurai, like it's exciting. Yeah. So it's like, sometimes like even though things are like not great, you're like, hey, that's good.
Well, I think sometimes when you don't feel represented, you'll fucking take anything. Yeah. You'll just be like, oh fuck, they're calling us animals. Hey, at least they're acknowledging us. You know.
Like, and I do want some marijuana.
Yeah,
so. At least we're fast.
Yeah, but which is funny because like. The fact that he wants marijuana, but is also like super fast. It's like, well, which one is he? Because it seems like he's coked up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like Speedy
Right.
Gonzalez seems coked
He
up.
needs a downer now.
Yeah, it's his cousin. If you remember, he had a cousin in the cartoon called Slowpoke Hernandez.
I don't remember this.
Dude, when you edit this, put up a photo of Slowpoke Hernandez.
Okay.
Because Slowpoke Hernandez
Yeah, I know how to do that.
Is so funny. He's like a lazy, like always napping, and he goes, "Hey, ¿qué pasa?" Oh, dude, Slowpoke Hernandez is like, which is funny because I go, that's the one people should probably be offended by. But even then, I'm like, I kind of like Slowpoke Hernandez.
Yeah. It's hard when it's cute, you know?
Yeah,
When it's like
yeah.
a cute mouse or something.
I always say this about like, I was telling someone recently that if someone called me a beaner, I'd laugh because it is
Beaner is so funny.
It's the cutest racial slur. Because what I imagine is a cartoon bean, like with a little like sombrero and like, you know, doing a little dance or whatever. Like that's kind of a cute slur. Not that I'm advocating for anyone to say that to someone.
For sure. Don't say that.
Yeah.
I used to work for a tofu factory, and then it was like, this is the beanery.
Yeah.
And we're like the beaners.
Yeah.
Like, that is what we are. That's what we're doing.
It's just a bunch of Latino dudes saluting you. Hey, we work here.
But Mexicans did not like Yo Quiero Taco Bell, from my memory. That was a thing.
Oh,
I feel like
I guess,
they had that taken off because there was a thing with that.
You know what it was? Mexicans didn't like. So Disney, as a corporation, tried to trademark Dia de los Muertos, and because at the time the movie Coco was coming out, and they tried to trademark it, and they went so hard after them that like they were like, you can't trademark. This is our fucking holiday.
Yeah,
like,
that would be
this
so
is
weird.
a day of remembrance, and like so. Anyways, it was just.
Yeah, Disney's got a lot of nerve, man.
Yeah.
I chirp out on like this late stage capitalism thing because I do like Disney, you know, and I'm like, oh, you know, you got this guy and he was a cartoonist and he drew this mouse and everyone thought it was funny and it was like kind of a thing. And now it's like this crazy mogul corporation ruler of the world that's like signing with OpenAI and like, it's just like, what? Wait, what happened?
Yeah, truly.
Like,
what
that's
happened?
so weird. Like, 1 second you're enjoying a cartoon.
Yeah. And it's all corporate, like, it's also like corporate and everything. And like, you think of all the, like, I just go, it's funny that it started from a cartoon to now being like a multi-billion-dollar corporation that probably like helps fund weapons in Israel.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
But that's what you're talking about, like late stage capitalism is you go, oh, it's funny because it's like, I always tell people like, we're worried about AI and AI is a concern, but I go like, capitalism is like AI in that it's aware of itself. So it goes, we have to keep making more money.
Right.
Like you have to keep feeding the machine. And it's like, nope, we have to it's aware that it needs to turn a profit constantly. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Now I'm picturing it like as a creature.
yeah, it probably is.
I know.
Yeah.
Like a little monster.
It's the algorithm. It's like a computer that's like, it's Wall Street. It's like, to me, it's, you know, those things that you'll see in Wall Street, those like electronic panels that are like telling, that's what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really, because in order for capitalism doesn't sustain, it has to grow.
Yeah.
And that, I can't believe that Disney signed this deal with OpenAI because it's just so dumb to me because it's like they lose their IP, right? And it's like, but it's just like, yeah, this is what's going to boost profit right now. But I'm like, isn't it so clearly a bad idea? Like,
but it doesn't matter because it's profit.
It doesn't, but it's like what's valuable really to Disney is all of its IP. Like, it's like Beauty and the Beast. It's all of that. And it's just like now AI has access to all of that. That's so weird.
Have you ever seen, there's a documentary on YouTube. This guy he made this really funny documentary. It's about the music producer Timbaland and how he's like signed a deal with like this AI company. And he's like really advocating for like AI as a music producer. Interesting. And how like it helps you be a better music producer, this and that. And it's like so worked against him because all his fans are talking shit. But he created this AI singer and she's like Asian, and she has like
This is real?
and she has like a black accent.
What?
And then it's really funny because the music video had like aliens in it, but all the aliens are like kind of swagged out and are talking like black dudes. And like people are making fun of it so bad, but he's like trying to stand by it. But people are saying like, you're not standing by it because it's some sort of like innovation. You're standing by it because you're invested in this company.
Right.
They're paying you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when I went to the Mac store and the guy who was helping me, he was like, what do you need a computer for? And I was like, I'm trying to do a podcast. And he was like, oh, I've got a podcast on MMA and I'm going to try to put it on like virtual. And I was like, I don't really like that stuff. And he's like, that's what people said about the computer at first. You know, it's that kind of mentality of like, and I'm like, I don't think this is the same thing. I really don't.
That's so funny.
But I didn't like Timbaland because he said, you know, when Britney Spears came out with her book and everything, it was like kind of it had some negative things to say about Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
And Timbaland's tied with Justin Timberlake, you know, financially, I guess, because of...
I still laugh about that, how he got arrested.
I know.
And then he said, this is going to ruin the world tour. And the police officer didn't know who he was.
He said, what tour?
Yeah.
He was like, the world tour.
But it's funny when like, it's funny to me for him to talk that way, like rhetorically, almost in a way to like hoping the guy hears.
Right.
But the guy has no idea who he is, you know?
Not the world tour.
Yeah. Oh, why didn't you say so?
I don't want to go down in history as the man who ruined the world tour. What was he drinking and driving?
Yeah, he was drinking and driving.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that hilarious though? I just like, that kills me.
Yeah, we've gotten some good moments, you know, and we've gotten some little gems, and that's one of them. And there was this one where he was being like lifted. I don't know if you've seen this. He was being lifted up in like a crane that was part of his concert, but it was like a harness around his crotch.
Yeah.
And it just like fully showed his penis.
Oh, man. Was he swinging? Was he hung?
No.
No, he wasn't.
It was just like a little like... Brrt.
Yeah. You know, I feel like he's kind of become a little bit of a punchline now.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how do you recover from that? You know, he's a guy that I think should have segued into acting.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because he's not a bad actor. He should have like just really doubled down on being like, I'm an actor now.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, we should have been in charge of Timberlake's career.
Yeah, we should have. You and me should have been his PR team.
Yeah, I agree because he was in Bad Teacher.
Yeah.
With Cameron Diaz.
Yep.
And he was really funny.
He was in that movie Alpha Dogs. Did you ever see that movie? He was really good in that. He was in Social Network. That was great.
Yeah, he was good in Social Network. Bad Teacher was so funny because he played like kind of like a whiny man baby kind of like, and it was a great role for him.
Yeah.
And he like, there was this scene where he's like dry humping her because he's like a Christian and he's like got his sweater on and he's dry humping her and then he comes and he's like not ashamed at all. He's like, oh, thank you. You know, like, okay, bye.
That's funny.
It was great. It was
check
so
that
funny.
out.
Yeah.
Bad Teacher.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, I like those kinds of movies. The Cameron Diaz, you know.
Yeah, I don't mind a good Cameron Diaz movie. She dropped out of acting, right? Like she kind of quit.
Oh yeah, we haven't seen her in a minute.
Yeah, but I think purposely was like, I think I'm out.
Yeah, fair enough.
Good for her. Isn't that cool when somebody's like, I'm just going to stop?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, I think acting is too hard.
Yeah.
I don't know, like whenever I'm on set, I'm like, this is too long. Like if you're like really doing movies all the time, it's
a
all
lot.
day,
it's
you know.
all day. You're there for like 12 hours.
I've got 4 hours a day in me as like as a person.
As a person, yeah.
Like I can't do much more than 4 hours in a day.
Yeah.
But with that said, if anyone wants me,
if anybody wants to hire
me,
she clearly has a strong work ethic.
I'm a
nobody works harder than Jessica Seeley.
It's so true. I'm grinding.
Yeah. Look, you're not gonna get an expected 8 hours of work. But in those four, she will work her ass off.
Genius.
Yeah.
It is true. I do have a good work ethic, but it's like, you know what it is? It's like, well, also I haven't gotten paid for most of the acting work that I have done. And it's all been like student things where it takes a lot longer than it's needed to.
Yeah.
But you know, like I just don't like people to be so entitled to my time too.
I get it.
I'm just like, so in regards to like Cameron Diaz being like, oh, like I want to live my years like having some time, because it's like, you know, for actors like that, they're expected to be on set all day, and then it's like you want to have relationships with other people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think she kind of was like, if I remember correctly, I think my wife told me she was like, she quit acting to like focus raising her kids or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that. Yeah.
It'd be really hard to raise kids. I'm sorry to say.
Which is kind of like what Julia Roberts did.
Yeah.
Like Julia Roberts lives in New Mexico and like kind of like stopped being in the limelight to being like, I just want to raise my kids.
Yeah. Because you've got enough money.
My goal is to not raise my kids and just focus on acting.
If I got pregnant, which is pretty doubtful at this point, we're near the end here. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it would.
Well, I'm rooting for you.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, I'm rooting for you.
Well, that was part of this thing with this heckler last night. Is I had a whole conversation with him, which I shouldn't, but he said he had 4 kids.
Yeah.
And that actually was the moment that upset me. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, I don't have any kids. And then he was like, and then he went, ugh. And then it was just like, I should raise your kids though.
Yeah.
Like totally. I think because you're calling me horrible. You're a scary man.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, you shouldn't have talked to him because there's no like changing people's minds like that.
I know.
Like I go, you know, if you're not gonna have a nuanced thought about something, there's no like changing your mind. Also, it's like, this is a guy who I think is like pig-headed and like just like stuck in his ways, because it's like, I don't think it's a guy who understands context.
Yeah.
And like I don't think of you as like, I've never seen you be like an overly like political comic or like someone who's like, you know, you're not on stage going the empire or whatever, you know, like I it's all kind of like when you are political, it's always funny or like tongue in cheek, you know? So to me, it's like for him not to go like, oh, put you in a context of being like, she's on stage, she's saying jokes, she's talking about toilets.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, I think he's part of the big toilet industry.
I think you're right. I think he's promoting American toilet superiority.
Yeah.
But you know, in that moment where I started talking to him, I was like, I know better than this.
Yeah.
I know better, but I was just curious. You know, I was just curious to see if we could do something with it.
You're right.
Then he just got angrier and angrier, and was doubling down. The rest, I think it all was fine. Like, I think the rest of the audience like enjoyed the whole thing for the most part. Like, most people were pretty good.
Yeah, you got to focus on that, because you know what's funny? The one time not too long ago, I was doing a show in Sacramento at the Sacramento Punchline, and it was there was a couple up front who I don't know if they knew who I was or just bought tickets to a show, but they were like an older couple, and the wife clearly did not like anything I was saying, or it almost seemed like my voice was like piercing her ears or something. Like she seemed
Which sounds crazy. I've been thinking during this, I was like, oh, I kind of wish I was a man, because what a nice slow voice.
No, but she was like not. It was so clearly obvious that she was not having a good time, and she was almost nudging him like we should leave, and he was like, no, let's stick this out. But he wasn't having a good time either. So it was odd that like at some point I wanted to stop the show and go, just fucking go, like leave.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not for you.
Yeah.
I almost felt like pulling out like $50 and going, here, like whatever this maybe equals the tickets or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was funny
because
to the
arcade.
It was funny because I thought, if I do that, it's kind of narcissistic of me, because there's a lot of other people that are having a good time.
Yeah.
And like that I'm connecting with and I'm making laugh. So I'm just going to stop the show because I can't, because I'm being a baby that these people, just ignore them.
Right.
Ignore them.
I think that like, I usually, you know, before I go on stage, a lot of times I say, God help me to give these people what they need in this moment. But last night, I do, it's true. But last night I was like, this one's for me. Like this whole thing's, I just made that choice. Yeah. Which I think I have to sometimes to like, to work on things or to like get to what I'm wanting to do. But I guess it kind of backfired. But most people did. I think they were like, wow, we're having like an interesting moment here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For them, it's like, oh, the drama, the tension. So
Yeah.
I don't think it took too much away. But
That was the most exciting thing that happened in Temecula.
God, I went to middle school in Temecula.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I did. I moved around.
Temecula's own is what I say. Jessica Seeley.
Yeah, that's where I first saw 9/11 happen.
Really?
I was in band class.
No way.
Yeah.
I remember when 9/11 happened. You know what's really funny? I shit you not. That morning, I was 18 when 9/11 happened. Or, I think, 18. And my friend Luis called me. And he was like, called me and he was like kind of crying. And he was like, dog, they're attacking America. And I went, what? And I turn on the news and I see like the towers being hit. I see all the news coverage of it. And I go, oh my God. And I hang up. And then I hear helicopters come over the apartment. Like I went, holy shit, what the fuck is going on? And then a few, like he called me around like maybe 8 or 9, right? And then around like 4 in the afternoon, he calls me and he goes, this is a man who was crying saying they're attacking America. And then called me. And then later he goes, hey, what are you doing? I go, just watching the news. It's crazy. He goes, yeah, it seems like it's only New York. You want to go eat?
He's like, phew, we're good.
He just killed me.
I didn't get it. Like it didn't affect me at all.
Yeah.
I think that, well, first I heard it on the radio. My friend's mom was like driving us to work.
Yeah.
And that she was like, oh my God, this is awful. But I was just like, that sounds like the news. The news is always like that. Like I didn't really get why this was special. And then even when I was watching it, I was just like,
oh, how old were you?
I was 12, right?
Yeah. I don't think at 12 you understand the gravity.
Totally. And then I was just like, is Travis looking at me?
Yeah.
That was my whole.
I don't think at 12 you had an understanding of geopolitics.
I sure didn't.
Yeah.
I'm still learning.
Yeah. We're all learning.
We're learning it's some crazy shit.
Yeah, we're learning
which we knew, but it's just
we all knew.
Like a good show, every episode just takes it to that next level.
Yeah.
A new reveal every time.
Yeah, I was like saying this to my wife the other day. I go, none of this is surprising.
Yeah.
Because if you think I go, so you're telling me people in power are like raping young girls and children and starting wars. You mean like how 100 years, like a few hundred years ago, people in power were enslaving human beings,
right,
and exterminating a whole indigenous population? Oh, that correlates. It doesn't. It's not
but that's like a little illustration in the book, Yeah. And you're like, but it's like, to me, it's like the details, which I'm not getting into. But
historically, there's details of how awful the transatlantic slave trade was, or like the murder of the genocide of indigenous people.
Yeah.
So what I mean is, like, I go, yeah, it makes sense.
You're so right.
You know what I mean? Like
those slave, like the slave narratives, those books, they're nuts, dude.
Yeah. Or like even, I just go like, you think of all the guys who colonized the Americas. I go, they had like 12-year-old, 11-year-old, like girls they were raping,
Yeah.
Like in Mexico, there's a term that's like been changed. It's got a new perspective in the last few decades. But so in Mexico, when you wanted to call someone a traitor to their people, you would call them a malinchista. A malinchista means it derives from the word malinche, and malinche was the woman who translated for Hernan Cortez, who colonized Mexico. Right? Mm-hmm. He was the Spanish guy that came there and killed the Aztecs and like took over Mexico City and was responsible for colonizing Mexico. So people go, this woman translated for him, right? Like knew the different indigenous languages, and then also picked up Spanish along the way and was able to translate for him. But so she's seen as a great traitor, like a grand traitor to like Mexico or whatever. But as decades passed, there's been like a different way of looking at it, which was like, dude, she was 12.
Right.
She was a fucking captive slave.
Right.
Who was
and who knows what was happening to her?
Oh, being raped.
Yeah, of course. Who knows? There's no way for us to know or even imagine.
Even imagine. But so now that word is kind of looked at differently, where it's like, well, you can't really. She was a held captive slave.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my kind of jokes that I was trying to get at in terms of I think basically it's like when you say oh, I'm proud to be white, it's like, why is that your identity you're clinging to, and what does that mean?
Yeah.
I think it's so weird and bizarre, like how Donald Trump came out and said the Trail of Tears is nothing to be ashamed of, and I'm like, dude, it's called the Trail of Tears.
Yeah. I think he's a sadistic person.
Yeah.
That
he's like, oh, it's normal to have a trail of tears.
Yeah. Yes, it's normal. I think he's sadistic, so he's just like, no. Clearly, I mean, this is a man who was who's pretty clear by those files and emails that this is a man who was doing some pretty sick sadistic shit. So to him, it's like he finds the opposite, going, wait, there's a place that this didn't happen. Y'all are weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He probably finds it odd when people don't rape.
Yeah.
He's like, you don't do that?
I love doing that.
Yeah. He goes, I thought we all did that. That's his take. He goes, wait, you don't do that? I thought we all did that.
Oh my God. Yeah. He's just like, I don't know. I'm going to get off that.
Yeah.
I'm going to get off the Trail of Tears, but it's just like, yeah, you got to have a trail of tears. What else are you doing?
Yeah, that's how he views it. Yeah.
And I just trip out on all these guys because I'm just like, I enjoy my life so much. And I'm just like, I'm eating a taco.
Yeah.
I'm going to a comedy show. I see a bird. Have you ever seen a bird and it's doing a funny thing? You're like, this is great. And I'm just like, what? Why do you need to have a trail of tears?
No, I think they see the bird and they go, I wish I could choke it.
I know.
Did I tell you one time so my wife and I have a cat, right? And we made the mistake of taking it out for walks when it was little. So now it likes to go out for walks. And
That's good though.
We walk it on a harness and a leash. Yeah, it's embarrassing, but it ultimately is good because it keeps her stimulated and active.
Yeah, I mean, imagine just being inside your whole life.
Yeah, so
it's
she's
too
not
dangerous to just let them roam.
No, it's too dangerous.
And it's bad for the birds, which, as you know, I like the birds.
Well, this is what this deals with. So she walks on a harness and a leash, right? But like I said, cats don't walk like dogs. Like you rarely will ever see someone walking a dog like a cat casually walking down the street. They kind of stay in their parameter, in where they live. Like in the area within they live, they don't take a casual stroll like dogs will,
Mm-hmm.
And so I was at our old place. The furthest it would go is maybe down the block, but it wouldn't. It would stop and sniff and perch for a while and but this time it had crossed the street and it was by these hedges, and it was probably around 8 a.m, maybe even 7:30. And I was looking at I was holding her leash like this, and I had my phone like this, and I wasn't looking at her.
Oh no.
And then I'm just looking at my phone, and then that hedge, a lot of birds would go into that hedge, right? They'd have their nest there or whatever. And all of a sudden I'm looking down at my phone and I see her come up, jump into the midair. And I go, what the fuck? And she comes down and she caught a bird flying midair.
Whoa. And
I was like, oh my, and I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh shit, she has a bird. And you know what she did? She didn't kill it. She put it in her mouth, right? Wasn't she? Put it in her mouth, and the wings were sticking outside of her mouth.
Whoa.
Like that. And she was walking back to our apartment, I guess, to give it to my wife.
Yeah. That's cute.
And I was walking with it down across the street going, oh my God, what do I do? And I was like, this is weird. Do I let nature happen?
Right.
I go, but this is not, she's a house cat. She's not, this is not nature in the way that I'm thinking of nature. So I tug on her and she drops the bird. And then the bird looks around and then flies away.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? It went on to go tell other birds, dude, you'll never guess what happened.
I was in the mouth of a kitty cat on a leash.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, house cats are one of the most effective predators, I guess. Like
really
most predators like have a pretty low kill rate. Like you're a cheetah or something. There's a lot of just running and waiting and being like, fuck, I missed it.
House cats kill though.
Cats can just get it.
Yeah,
my roommate used to have a cat that would leave little pieces of rats in front of my door.
Oh,
it was an inside outside cat, and then I'd walk out and it'd be like, here's a rat's leg. And I love
brought you something.
I love to think of it like waiting around the corner, like looking. I can't wait to see. Like
her face.
She's gonna love this. Like, and I love her, and that's why I'm leaving her this rat leg.
Well, serial killers.
I know. I kind of have like not very fun views of pet ownership in general.
Oh, really?
I think
I love having pets. I wish we could have a dog. I love dogs too, but
I love dogs, and honestly, I'll probably get a dog. But for me, I'm just like, it's too many and it's too much. Like there's too many. I just think too many people like don't. Also, a lot of people like don't know how to have dogs. Like you just see people walking around, they've got their pit bull on a leash and they're texting the whole time, and the dog's like pulling, and
That's true. Yeah,
you're just like, what? There's too many. I mean, I think the same is probably true with kids, I guess too. It's like you're not going to learn how to walk a dog.
Yeah,
you're not going to learn what your dog needs. You're just going to have it, and it's going to sit in your apartment all day, and you're not going to pick up its shit.
Yeah,
that's my huge curmudgeon view. Is I'm just like, it's too many pets.
That's true, but then I would rather people have pets than them be strays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a
owners should be better though.
It's a problem that I think's just gotten way out of control, and no one likes it when I say these things. I've tried to do jokes about.
I hate it, and I feel like walking out right now.
That would, if you want to leave, you're of your own free will.
You know what I?
And I don't judge pet ownerships. I've had pets. I'll probably end up having a dog again.
But with that said, because you see that in other pet owners, you're probably a good pet owner.
I don't know. The thing about me is I'm kind of a nervous person.
Yeah.
And then the animals pick up on that.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, now I'm nervous.
That's true. Yeah.
You got to kind of learn to calm yourself down.
You got to be chill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like when I've had dogs in the past, I try to be cool. So I'll put on like sunglasses when I walk them. Mm-hmm. And then they have sunglasses too, because they're trying to emulate me.
That's cute.
Yeah. And then we're just like smoking cigarettes and being cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I support.
Yeah. I let my dog smoke cigarettes.
And that's okay.
That's fine.
Cigarettes aren't bad for dogs. That's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's not what you're talking about. Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, I like dogs though. Dogs are cool.
Who doesn't like dogs? Dogs are perfect.
They are really great. I like how loving they are. That's what I love.
Yeah.
I love that they're needy. Like, yeah. As we're like, I love my cat, but it's not needy. Mm-hmm. And I need to feel wanted.
Yeah. Cats are pretty special.
I do. I've never had a cat before until me and my wife got this cat, because she grew up with cats, and I do love it though. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just have to understand they show love in different ways.
Yeah. I'm kind of, I don't know that, like, I'm kind of allergic to cats.
Mm-hmm.
Cat ownership is weird to me too. Like, I think that it's great that you take it out on a walk, but I do think it's like kind of like the indoor versus outdoor thing is like, what do you do? You know? Because like,
we don't do indoor outdoor because we just live in an area. It's too dangerous, and also
I think anywhere it's too dangerous.
Unless you live in like kind of a more like very suburban or rural area, you know, like.
But even then, there's like usually coyotes.
But there's coyotes here.
Yeah.
And we don't live in a rural, like,
I had a cat
lot
get eaten by a coyote when I was a kid.
That breaks my heart.
When I lived in Anaheim Hills.
Yeah, but there's coyotes here, so we don't let her out like that. But we'll take her out for like 30 minutes. And then sometimes we'll do it in the morning, and then sometimes like in the like really early evening, I'll take her out again if I'm up for it. And I feel like, to me, that's like a way of like, because she'll like climb trees, she'll like hunt crickets and grasshoppers and stuff like that, and you know, like, it kind of gets her out of her system. And I go, all right, like, it's not just a brain dead cat that lives inside.
Yeah.
Or like, But she's gotten so used to that stimulation that if you bring that little wand with the feather out, she's like, hey, motherfucker, I've seen what the outside looks like.
Yeah, give me a bird.
Yeah, this doesn't. I've had birds inside my mouth.
That's real.
But yeah, so it's funny. But
I do trip out on like Nextdoor or whatever. There's always people that are like, in regards to the coyotes, that are like, what is the city going to do about the coyotes? You know, like, and it's like, what do you want them to do with the coyote? Like,
yeah, they're here. I mean,
I've always thought that was like the stupidest thing. And I sort of felt that way a little bit about the fires. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying there was nothing that people could have done better, but it was just like looking out the window and seeing like fire raining from the sky. And people are like, where's the mayor? And I'm like, the fuck is the mayor gonna do?
Yeah,
like,
true.
Oh, the mayor's here. Now the fires are out and the wind has stopped.
What a nightmare. Those fires were nuts, though.
I did a lot of donating in that time to like people who lost their houses. So they're like, oh, we need like 500,000 so we can rebuild our house. And then I think back on that and I'm like, wait, can we also give me $500,000 and I'll build a house?
Yeah.
To have one?
Start a GoFundMe.
I know.
Just, I want a house. And somebody's like, did you lose your place in a fire? You go, no, I just want one.
Yeah.
I just want a house.
I haven't had a house.
Yeah.
I'd love to have a house.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy if that worked and then I was able to have a house.
You'd have a house. Yeah.
I'd have to raise probably like $1 million.
Yeah, probably. Well, it depends on where, if you were going to live in LA, yeah. But if you wanted a house somewhere else.
I think it's weird. I do kind of just want to stay in LA. Sometimes I like wish I wanted to live somewhere else because it's like so expensive and like sometimes apocalyptic here.
Mm-hmm.
But I just love it. I come back and there's like dog shit everywhere and mattresses and I'm like, I'm home.
The charm.
It's and there was this one time I was like super fucking depressed and I like went to the ocean. I was looking at the ocean. It wasn't doing anything.
I love going to the beach.
Me too. And it usually kind of honestly fixes me. But I was like in a deep depression that nothing was doing anything. And then I went on a walk because I try to do all the right things for my depression. You know? And I went on a walk.
That's good that at least you're active about it.
I really, I do fight it, I don't just give in and lay around. But so I went on a walk and it sucked. I could barely move, so depressed. But then I saw this like huge pile of diarrhea. Mm-hmm. And there was like cockroaches on it. And stuff.
Jesus. Fuck.
Isn't it funny that like I say diarrhea and then that's gross, but then I say cockroach is like,
and it makes it worse.
And it makes it worse.
Oh yeah, it made it worse.
It's like that's the only animal that could make that scene worse.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, yes. I'm sorry to talk about this, but it is a good story because I started laughing when I saw it, and then I like wasn't depressed anymore.
Oh, that's good. The horrors of life brought you back.
So that's why I got to pay $1 million to live here.
Yeah.
Because that's how I work.
Yeah. You have to be reminded by the horrors of life where you go, oh, it's going to be all right.
I just love it. I think it's so funny.
Well, there's something hilarious about that.
It was because it was like really sunny. It was like glistening.
Oh my God.
It was right in front of Paramount.
That's even more like funny to me that in front of a big movie studio, there's just a fucking diarrhea with like cockroaches on it.
Yeah. It's so classic Hollywood.
Yeah.
Because I also like to think that it's like someone who like didn't get cast or something.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it wasn't. It was a homeless person.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. You're right. It was a homeless person that didn't get cast. Tried to walk on the lot.
Yeah, or me. I have IBS, so I'm always running to the bathroom.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that about you.
Yeah. It's one of my charming qualities. That's where I go. I'm always close to shitting my pants. I'm cute like that. I tell people.
It is cute,
Yeah, it's cute.
My partner has ABS, but he's like in denial about it, so he'll just eat whatever. And I'm like, don't eat that.
You gotta be careful. I sometimes
don't eat
get
too much fiber.
I sometimes get cocky and I'll eat a few things and I'll go, oh no, but it's tough. I shit my pants in front of my wife like when we were dating, and that was really embarrassing. But I didn't really shit my pants. We were on a hike and my IBS hit, and then I had to tell her to leave and I had to shit on the hiking trail.
But then she stayed with you.
Yeah, and then married me a few years later.
Yeah, you have to be able to like have diarrhea. If you're going to marry someone.
I would joke that
have
if
to have
that would have
emergency.
happened to her, I would be telling you a story about my ex-girlfriend who shit her pants. And then I go, you think I'd be with someone like that? That's disgusting. I go, unlike my wife, I have standards for myself. Her tolerance made me respect her less.
Can I tell you something gross?
Yeah.
It is really gross.
Oh God. Okay, go for it.
Well, I mean, it's just diarrhea.
Yeah.
But it's
Okay. I shouldn't be unfair. I'm telling you about me shitting my pants. So.
Well, this one, it's me.
Okay.
And I, in all my femininity, so it's worse. But Eric was home. I was having like food poisoning on the toilet.
Oh yeah.
And then I fainted.
Oh no.
And then I kind of came to with him like holding me on the floor, and he was like, Jessica. And then I opened my eyes and I was like, put the bucket under my butt. And he's like, can I help you back up to the toilet? And I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do it. So he put this bucket under my butt.
Oh my God. This is a good man.
He's a really good man.
Yeah, this is a good man.
But like for sure. And I'm like, if he's the kind of guy, if I like get cancer or end up deformed or something, he'll stick around and those sorts of things. But it is interesting to like that with a partner, you're supposed to have someone that can have the diarrhea and have a sexual relationship with and still think you're really hot and be like, dang, I want you. Yeah. And that's a hard balance to strike.
It's a hard balance. Yeah. It's a hard balance, but yeah.
Well,
we ended on that.
I think so.
All right.
Yeah.
And then find yourself someone who's willing to put up with you shitting on a hiking trail or willing to put a bucket under your ass.
Do you think that evolutionarily that's like why poo play is a thing? Is because
I don't even.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But I think it's beautiful because it's like evolution, you know. Because it's like you have to find.
That's the most vile thing you've ever said.
Really?
Yes.
Now you're with that guy.
Yeah, now I'm with that
toilet guy.
Yeah, now the guy with big toilet's starting to make sense to me. Is this the kind of shit you were saying on stage?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. But because you need someone that can take care of you in the gross moments and still is into you.
But I don't think people who are into poop play are doing it with their loved ones.
It's not about love.
Yeah, it's not about love. Yeah. Fetishes are not love.
Whoa. Okay. That's a big statement. So if someone has a foot fetish.
I said it here.
Someone has a foot fetish.
Yeah.
They're like, I found.
Well, it depends. Because look, I think a foot fetish is probably a little more normalized. Or it's a little more common as opposed to like. I think there are some fetishes. I find that people are like kind of. The reason they're fetishes is. Or these kind of like things happen is because they want to, it's a fetish they have, but they don't want to do it with their loved ones, with like their wife or husband. They rather it exists outside of that as a pure fetish.
I see.
Do you know what I mean?
It has to be, what's the word that starts with a D? Deviant.
Deviant. Yes. Yeah. It has to be deviant.
All right.
Yeah.
I think poo play can be about love.
I think it's about deviance, but what do I know?
I think Valentine's Day, you could make a heart on the wall.
Yeah.
And it could be romantic. You could stick the rose petals to the heart.
You're a real sicko. And
I'm sorry.
And I regret doing this.
Can you imagine having someone being like, hey, will you please come over Sunday morning and do this podcast with me? And then you just, do what I just did to you.
Yeah. I'm going to go home and my wife was like, how was the podcast? And I go, vile.
Well, that's.
And then do you know what she's going to say? Because she knows you. She goes, that's silly for you.
Well, and then it zooms up on her sitcom style.
Yeah, that's silly for you. And no, it zooms on your face and it goes, get me the bucket.
I'm going to cut out all the gross stuff from this episode and it's going to be like a 10-minute long episode.
No. Keep it up.
All right. Well, is there anything that you want to say, either a plug or any words of hope and wisdom?
Follow me on family. Instagram. And to Celi's family, keep an eye on her. That's what I'm keep, especially your aunt that listens, keep an eye on her.
I'm not into poop play.
Well, yeah, even being tolerant of it is weird to me.
I'm just a free thinker.
Yeah, just a free thinker. Possibly a free stinker.
All right.
All right.
Let's go.
All right. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Late Stage Comedy with me, Jessica Seeley, with audio engineering by Seth Hover, intro music by Jeff Traeger. Please subscribe and follow wherever you can. And follow us on Instagram at Late Stage Comedy Pod. Okay, that's it.